Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. American Truth here. And today we're going to talk about, is America a failed state over this pandemic? Now, what I'm about to show you is going to be kind of confusing. And we're going to talk about all of this right after the break.
Because I am hard, you will not like me. But the more you hate me, the more you will learn. I am hard, but I am fair. Bullshit.
All right, welcome back. So we have this Yahoo from the New York Times who has no problem saying that he believes that we are not a failed state, but that we are a failed society. And of course, he's blaming Trump. He's got a lot to say, and I've done a lot of editing to cut out the irrelevant parts of this. And at the end of this video that I'm about to show you is also going to be, oh, it's just, First of all, the media says that we're doing poorly because not enough is shut down, and then they want the country back open. They're saying that we're a failed state because businesses are closed, or a failed society. The first part of this, the guy's going to say we're a failed society, and then he's going to go on to say we're coming together. Do you know where you're going with this? Really? So let's get into it.
David, you are someone I think of who loves to think and talk and write about America and who we are. Would you describe us as a failed state right now?
I actually wouldn't. I've covered failed states, Russia, around the world. And if we were a failed state, there'd be massive looting right now. There'd be rioting. There'd be massive bribery. I think we have a couple problems. The first is we have a terrible president.
You're going to hear in a minute.
Yes, ma'am. You're an idiot.
Right, you're an idiot.
Explain why you're an idiot.
Great people up and down the line. The second is that we were too stupid to learn from the mistakes of others. The Asians are handling this reasonably well because they went through it and they botched it, frankly, twice with H1N1 and with SARS. And they figured out how to do it. And we somehow figured we're special. It won't affect us. So we didn't learn from their mistakes. The thing I do worry about is that we're a failed society. This thing hits us when we have low levels of social trust, when suicide was spiking, when depression rates were already rising 3 times over a generation. And so the basic fragments of society are sort of in dissolution, and now they get whacked by a thing that makes everything that people are suffering from just far worse.
David, how concerned are you that Corona is taking away that community? Over the last few years, you've talked so much and written so much about the power of community. Weavers, these people in society who are bringing people together, who are helping them in times of distress. And in order to truly address coronavirus, we're now separated.
Right, but we're experiencing something together, so that's one thing. We now have a common experience.
See, I mean,
and maybe we had to be separated to realize how much we're together. And what I see with the Weavers are community builders. They're sort of like when society is broken and fragmented and unequal, they're sort of like the Cajun Navy. They come in, just regular people like those guys with the boats did in Katrina and Harvey, and they do stuff. And there's stuff being done through the Weaver networks all around the country right now. In Nashville, there's a church that's helping out-of-work bartenders. In New York, there's something called Invisible Hands, which
talking about all
brings
these people
food to elderly people.
That's not the
elsewhere, there are people linking
a failed society,
the young people to senior citizens so they can sort of take care of each other, even with the restrictions. I've just seen an upsurge in civic activity to help each other out. And I polled my New York Times readers, how you doing? Like, what's your mental health like? And they wrote me the most horrific letters of real depression, just paralyzed with fear. And so we've got a psychological crisis as well. And the Weavers are just trying to hang in there for each other. And hopefully we'll come out the other side.
Yeah, obviously we know anyone can spread the disease. all right, unwittingly.
Right.
So why even have a few businesses open? Why not just shut everything down? There are grocery stores that are open, fast food places. Why even take a little chance? Just shut it all
we're going to
down
have
temporarily.
we'll answer that question later. All I can say is that right now things are looking really good, and opening up with a bang will be a great thing, and there's nobody going to be happier than me.
The guys, these people in the media are on my nerves. They're doing everything they can to scare the crap out of people. They're doing everything they can to say, hey, look at what's going on with this country, and everyone's fearful, and oh my God, and blah, 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 blah. And then you got the media saying, shut down the grocery stores. Why? How are people going to eat? And I've got another video coming up tomorrow, or maybe today, I don't know, I haven't decided, about now the media's scaring the crap out of people even more because meat plants are shutting down because folks are getting sick. We're going to talk about that in another video. But these media people, they're the sole problem for this entire thing. Contradicting themselves, telling the president they need to shut everything down. Of course, no regards to anybody. Yes, people have to eat. There are ways to I guess, get everybody what they need without packing the store full of people. And up until just recently, that's kind of been how things are going, as people are still going in and out of Target, Walmart, Publix, whatever, as if everything is going on normally. And then you have the media saying shut it down. And then you have the media saying we're a failed society because we haven't done enough. We have not shut everything down like China did, but then they also want stuff open. There's other broadcasts saying, and like Trump said, we got to get the country back open. Well, we do and we don't. I wish, though, that the media would fucking sit on one idea instead of going like this all the time. You have to pick a media source that you like, preferably not CNN, and then you have to hear what they say, and then you have to do your own digging to find out the truth. Are you that lazy that you don't want to, find out the truth? Are we a failed society because of this thing? Well, if we're going strictly by the numbers of cases, which could be mocked up, by the way. I mean, lots of people have proven that hospitals are bare, nursing home patients are dying from terminal illnesses, and they're being marked as cause of death related to COVID-19. Of course, you got the whole cell phone technology, if you know what I'm talking about, which is not related at all. Don't even start thinking that. That's what I'm saying. All these multiple railroad tracks, if you will, different directions that the media is, going at people. It's no wonder people are confused. Today I hear one thing, tomorrow I hear another. Are we a failed society based on the numbers? I would have to say yeah, because a lot of people have disregarded the quarantine efforts and the stay-at-home efforts, and they're still out there. And if you don't believe me, get in the car and go look. It's not as many people, especially here in Florida. All the snowbirds are gone, long gone. Our neighbor, who normally leaves, in the next couple of weeks, he left 6 weeks ago. Thank God, because he has an annoying little dog. People, I don't feel, are capable of making their own mind up. I don't feel like they can, function on their own. And so they go to these media outlets, and then now you have all these stories spreading all over the country about various things, like the stimulus check. Oh, I already got mine. Well, technically, yeah, you did, but the government didn't physically give it to you yet. They just went out yesterday. Your third-party bank, Chime or Netspend, gave you an advance, giving it to you early. And when that $1,200 actually hits, they're going to take it back, right? So they're letting you use their money, and then when the government deposits those checks, they're going to recoup those funds. That's why some people are getting their checks and others are not. If you have a mainstream bank like myself, you probably will see it sometime around Wednesday, maybe Thursday, but definitely before Friday. Unless there's an issue with your account, that's a whole nother video. But guys, the media is strong-arming everybody. And if you start looking at different media posts about the same type of subject, you'll find that they're all the same. You know, back during 9/11, there was a thing about where CNN was saying stuff about the events, but then if you read the ticker down below, you would see truth or other stories that were not on the news or on the media related to the 9/11 crisis. So they would, ticker stuff down at the bottom, but nobody was ever looking at that. They were just watching the TV as, what's going on, what's going on, what's going on. Well, I'll tell you what's going on. You have to read everything. You have to look and investigate everything. So we got the media strong-arming people, saying different things, getting people, upset. And then you have the media also suggesting that we shut down very essential items like grocery stores. Honestly, there's a lot that is open right now that doesn't need to be. And people panic when they're scared and they go out and spend money, which is why they're giving you this fucking check to begin with. It's all going back into the economy. They're going to recoup all those funds. But you have to pay attention to what makes sense. So, with that said, that's all I got. Have a great day. Thanks for following.
Bullshit, I can't hear you. Sound off like you got a pair.